who could have brainwashed him so bad that he did that?
And do you have any ideas when you ask yourself that?
No, the only thing that I can think of, and it's hard to say because we all have children and we all want them to do the best and for them to have good values. I kind of feel that we've gotten away from a higher power, okay? And we've gotten away from God. And our children are not like we are. We have to have a connection with our church. And our children, if they don't like something, they give it up. And for me, at this age, I kind of say, and this is my own thinking, if you don't have that type of upbringing, okay, then you're going to go another route. You're going to be sucked in by other things. And somehow you have to have a conscience. And I think that comes from your religious upbringing. Okay, we might not agree with other religions, but the one fundamental thing is that there is a creator. And maybe
there is what, I'm sorry?
A creator.
A creator.
Yeah, someone.
Yeah.
And with us, it's God. I mean, He's there.
Yeah.
And we hang on to Him. Not only ask what happens, we hang on for dear life. And I don't think our children have somebody like that to hang on to.
Yeah.
Now, it depends on the family, because I know that one of the things that I heard my 13-year-old granddaughter tell her sister when she said, everything's okay, and remember what Mom told us to pray when things like this happen. Mm-hmm. So it's in their home, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that my children are saying things like that, talking like that.
Mm-hmm. And what about the statements that Veronica Escobar and Beto O'Rourke made about Trump and the Republican Party's talking about Mexicans and immigrants the way they do? Well, how do you feel about that whole conversation about whether this is a result of the political discourse of state and federal leaders?
Well, I truly believe that Trump has set the stage, okay? Hatred has always been there, but somehow he has given it his stamp of approval, and whatever comes out of his mouth is taken by those that support him as gospel truth. And I do believe that both Veronica and Beto have they've been right on the money, because it's things that we understand, we know, we see it. And if you're in a position of power, and Trump has changed the whole laws to make it his own, okay? He has changed everything around to now where, if somebody does anything wrong, it's almost like they're his heroes. And that's one of the things we don't want. We don't want that man to set the stage for us. That's not who we are. I would never want any one of my children to think that it's okay to carry a gun. and shoot somebody. I just kind of feel like he has totally, the shootings, he gave this guy permission to do what he did because of the rhetoric. I mean, he's been doing this since he got elected. Even the disrespect of women. He has said it's okay to treat a woman like this. And it's so sad because, you know, his folks, I don't understand why they don't hold him accountable. His own people. They don't hold him accountable, and everybody is protecting him, thinking that they're protecting the party. They think they're protecting the party. But I have known Republicans, and they were nowhere near what I see now. Okay? They were committed, and they had their own ideas of how things should be, but not to this point to where they think that anything that Trump does is okay. They don't verbalize if they're not happy with him. They don't verbalize it. Okay, it's almost like a cult. I just am very, very disappointed with a lot of folks. Now, we have a couple of Republicans. We had, God rest his soul, McCain. McCain was with a good value system. I respect Hurd. His views. It was like, wait a minute, you know.
Well, Hurd, are you disappointed he's not running again?
Right, I am.
No.
Because we need good people. Okay, and if they all run away, but I can also understand you can get corrupt or labeled as part of the problem and not part of the solution. And I think he knew how to count. He knew he was outnumbered.
Yeah.
So, what
makes you a Democrat?
My values are pretty much the same as the Democratic Party. I value people. I value their sense of her sense of doing for one another. Okay, we talk about many things that are important to our folks, our Hispanic folks. Insurance, health is one of them. I worked on the Obamacare. I met many people who were reluctant, but they did sign up. And then they liked it because it gave them an opportunity to go see a doctor. Okay, before that, they wouldn't go. Okay, the schools. I value public schools. They do have their weaknesses, okay, and that's why the charter schools have come up. And part of the weakness is that they're too overcrowded, and a lot of the folks that have gone to charter schools want a smaller classroom. And so, you know, if I'm a parent and I can look for good things for my children, I will. But the public school system is set up to where they will educate our children and they'll do it well. The Medicaid for our families, I have never used Medicaid, but I can see